Are we filming? Yes, we are. So, I want to tell you about the day I bought 100 bikes for £100. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe I did such a thing, but I did it. And there were repercussions for many years. Good repercussions, but it starts with a visit to the tip, my local municipal tip here in the UK, where for decades you've been able to take your stuff that you don't want and throw it away. Just leave it at the municipal tip. And some of that rubbish, whether it be a washing machine, a TV, cardboard, ferrous metal, or indeed a bicycle, don't get thrown into huge holes in the ground. Well, maybe they used to years ago, but they certainly don't now. We've got we're all very keen on recycling, and such was a day around about 40 years ago now when I was throwing away some stuff at my local tip. So when I'd emptied the car, I was just looking around before I went, and I saw a huge pile of bicycles. And being someone that likes travelling around by bicycle now and again, you know, I walk, I drive, I do everything else, but sometimes I get on my bicycle as well. I didn't know it at the time, but there were about 100 bicycles. And I got chatting to the guy at the tip, and I asked him, what are you doing with these bikes? And he says, well, we save them up and get rid of them now and again. If anyone wants them, we can do a deal. He says, are you interested? So I had to get my thinking cap on, because my partner, she was at home, and she would be none too pleased if I came home from the tip with rather more stuff than I was taking to the tip, because I was supposed to having a clear out, a bit of a tidy up. But I said, just out of curiosity, how much do you want for these bikes? So I was bold. I mean, you have to be bold. I mean, I didn't know whether I wanted to follow through and actually do it, but I was kind of testing the water, as one does. So I said, how about 100 quid? He says, done. Now, for 40 years, I do wonder whether I could have said 50. And he probably said yes, who knows. But 100 bikes for £100, well, there we go. Money changed hands, and then I had to work out how I was going to get 100 bikes home. And also, what I was going to do with them, because I don't think my partner, well, she would have been none too pleased if I just dumped them in the back garden. So it was pure luck. We had a garage that I rented a garage, and it wasn't anywhere near the house. It was just a garage that we rented off the council here in the UK for a nominal sum, although they're now very expensive to rent. But I just so happened to have in that garage, I had a trailer. So I borrowed a car with a tow bar, and then it took 3 or 4 trips backwards and forwards to the tip to pick up 25 bikes at a time. And what I did, I needed to store the trailer as well, so I just couldn't put them immediately into the trailer, into the garage. So what I had to do was get them all out onto the grass verge, then put the trailer in, and then pile 100 bikes on top of the trailer. And do you know what? I didn't have access to that trailer for several months, while I started tinkering with these bikes. I stripped some bikes down. Some of the parts of those bikes I still have to this very day, in case I find them useful. Who knows? But some of them I got going and I sold. There were a few children's bikes in there. They sold very quickly. I was really surprised at that. It started, that precipitated me into the tricky arena of the cycle trader, and I ended up buying and selling so many bikes that I was obliged to register for VAT, so and insurance, and I ended up with one part-time guy working for me and another one that was full-time, and it just it lasted a few years before I moved on to other things. But it was a fascinating journey, if you like, that still has ramifications for me today, because I love tinkering with bikes. I no longer buy and sell bikes as a sideline, but I still tinker with them. I've got so many bike parts that I probably won't ever have to visit a bike shop again unless I need some tubes or some tyres, because they tend to perish over time. But it was just a spur of the moment decision that changed my life, because I ended up giving up my well-paid job, a very secure, well-paid job, and becoming a bicycle repairman. Can you believe that? I can't. When I look back, I think, did I really do that? But I moved on from them, and it was one of the best things I ever did. But that's another story. But I loved it, and I still love it. And when I look back, when I drive past that tip, when I drive up the hill, I instinctively look across to see if they've got any bikes. Sadly, they don't now, because they have, due to health and safety, you have to be a certified collector of certain stuff, and they have a certain person that picks up washing machines, another person picks up TVs, and I'm sure they have another person that picks up bicycles. And I'm not that person. I'm retired now, so but I still get a hankering after fixing bikes, and I do that now and again. But it all stems from the day I paid £100 for 100 bicycles. Thank you for watching. I'm going to finish my coffee, and I'll see you next time I have a random thoughts that I wish to share with you guys. Cheerio.